stressful day for you?
No, it's actually pleasure.
All right. So, what was your relationship like with the Star Wars saga growing up?
Well, I remember watching it when I was very little, and it was a very serious moment when Star Wars was on because everyone had to be very, very quiet and concentrated because my eldest cousin who introduced us to it, it was sort of religious when Star Wars was on. So it had I remember it very vividly.
So, what went through your mind when you got the part? Like, can you describe that moment when you realized that you were gonna be in like the biggest franchise in movies? You know?
Fear. I remember thinking, there is a moment of excitement, but I have to say it is a moment before suddenly you start planning and you just go, okay, what do we need to do? There is a hell of a lot of work that needs to be done that goes into a film like this. But what was lovely is that I had lots of time, so I knew very early on. In the development process of the whole film that I was going to be playing Jyn, so I could be involved in costume discussions and script discussions, and it felt like there's so much responsibility that you feel in doing this in this kind of part. So it's nice to be part of those early conversations.
What was your biggest fear in taking this particular job? Like, was it anything that?
I think my concern was that, and I think for all of us, a lot of us have done very small independent films. We're in this industry because we care about cinema, and so I sort of always had this thought, usually these films when they get bigger they just get worse and worse, and there's a dip in quality. So I think from the beginning there was an agenda from all of us that we were like, no, we want to make a film that that is gonna reach a lot of people, but that it's still good, that it still has some soul to it.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a rather dark ending to this movie, like perhaps a bit darker than we've seen from earlier Star Wars movies. Did you always know that was going to be a case, or was like the last third like a secret kept from you to not be spoiling it to journalists or whatever? Or do you know? Did you get like the script from start to finish?
We did. We always had a sense of. Yes, we always had a sense of what was going to happen at the end.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost you can't. You can't plot a character. I hate it when studios try and do that. Because
I guess so, but
at
the same time, it's like there's so much fear of spoiling to the
I
audience.
I know.
It's amazing that got kept under wraps, I think.
Yeah, and I think we were very lucky with Rogue One because there was real trust of the actors, and and a trust that we have a process that we have to do in order to do our work properly.
Our readers want to know if the name Jyn Erso means anything. Did you get any explanation for that, or was it just because it sounded cool?
John Knoll, who came up with the idea of the story, his family, his wife and his children, all their names begin with J. So I think.
All right, so that's
I think that may have had something to do with it.
All right. What's your favorite Star Wars movie and why?
It would be probably Empire Strikes Back, because it's emotional. It has an intensity to it. I thought it was a great performance from Mark Hamill, and it's part of a franchise. I think that's what's key, and I think that's what Star Wars is set up. You can be part of something, but that you can still have an emotional resonance and impact.